This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 13. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. Shalom. Kol haloyam wahawad lak Yahweh bahashem Yahweh Shai bahashem rakah kodash. Double honors to the apostles, a great millstone, along with the bishops, was a quanium, who rule and teach the church well in these last days, and salutations to the house of David by Shadawadah, the elect, starting with the 144,000 who serve as the prophets, to include the remainder of the remnant, which consists of men, women, and children, believers, those among Israel, Yasharallah, who have the faith of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and who are keeping the commandments to the best of their ability in Babylon the Great in these last days. They too are going to be delivered out of this coming destruction, and that's what's coming to America. All right, complete and utter annihilation. It's going to be complements of the nuclear missiles, the intercontinental ballistic missiles, and the chariots of the Lord, the ships. And that time, Salakia, and this is just going to be a quick walk and talk, and that time is near to come, man. In Isaiah the 47th chapter, it talks about Babylon's time being near, her time is near to come. Meaning what? Meaning these nations, an assembly of great nations from the north country, pursuant to Jeremiah the 50th chapter, are about to surround this bitch and wipe this place off the face of the earth, man. All right? Salakia. So yeah, man, and 2/3 of you Israelites, all right, 2/3 of the house of Jacob, right, which is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and it includes the speckled bird brothers and sisters, the Israelite foreigners. 2/3 of you are out here despising this word, man, and you're gonna be destroyed. All right, you got teachers out here in Israel lately. These two clowns calling themselves the Genesis Israelites, right? Deacon Akai and Assad. You know, a guerrilla Hebrew sidekicks for a while, but that degenerate's done fallen out, you know, and renounced his heritage, denounced it, right? He's walked away from the truth, all right, but because he was never in the truth, that's just the facts. He wasn't never in it. But now you got these Genesis Israelites talking about they ain't worshiping Yahweh Shai, and they changing all kinds of, they remixing the doctrine, you know. They despising this word, man. And the scriptures, as it pronounces judgment on, especially the teachers, right? Men calling themselves prophets and teachers, there's a greater condemnation for y'all, man. All right? For despising this word. All right? So, again, you know, Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 13, whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. And you got Christians out here, even among Jake, all right, who were despising the commandments, not fearing the commandments of the Lord, always, you know, running their mouths and talking their shit about how the law is done away with, totally hating the laws, despising the laws, rejecting the laws, trampling the laws under their feet, you know, hating them, man. You know, because that's what that word despise goes into. It means to show contempt towards something, man. If you despise something, you're showing contempt for it. You're rejecting it. You know, you're casting it, you know, behind you, man. And these Christians, that's all they do. When the scriptures talks about, you know, the laws and the commandments not being grievous, okay, that's it, you know, that's the truth. These laws are, it's not, in other words, it's not hard to put down certain foods, right? It's not hard to put down, to stay away from pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, for example. That's not hard. That's not grievous for you. Matter of fact, that's for your benefit, man. The Lord established a dietary law in Jacob, okay, for his people's, for their benefit, man, for their well-being. You're not supposed to eat shit, okay? That's not grievous, man. You know, keeping you know, if you're a male, you know, keeping a hair on your face, not shaving your face, not lining yourself up. That's not hard. That's not grievous. Staying away from these pagan customs and these folly days like Christmas and Easter. That's not grievous. That's not hard to do. You know, I mean, the scriptures talks about, Yahweh Shai himself said, if you love me, keep my commandments. So Christians have a hard time with this as well, man. And you fucking Christians are going to be destroyed, man. You know, first and foremost, again, those among our people who are Christian. Okay, for what? For despising this word, man, and for not fearing the commandments of the Lord. What else? Like, for example, the Day of Atonement, right? This is the only day of the year where you're required by the law of the Lord to do a 24-hour fast, a dry fast, no food, no water. You know, and we keep that day, all right, through faith, man. All right? That's why we do it, because ultimately, Yahushua, all right, the Savior, all right, of the nation of Israel, beginning with his elect, all right, Yahushua, not Jesus Christ. Okay, Yahushua, which means he saves or he delivers. Ultimately, he is our atonement, all right, the final atonement for sin. But we follow that day, all right, because we believe, man, because we have this faith, man. We've been given this gift of faith. That ain't hard, man. It ain't hard to take one day out of your year to fast. Come on, man. You need, as a matter of fact, I mean, truth be told, you need to be fasting more than that. But you're only required by the law of the Lord to do it one day. How's that grievous for you, man? All right? Again, man, all these wicked customs. I mean, it goes beyond Christmas and Easter. I mean, celebrating your birthday. You know? What else? Thanksgiving. Right? I mean, and the list goes on and on and on and on. New Year's. You know? How is it grievous to acknowledge the holy days and feasts of the Lord? It's not. Okay, but again, Christians, man, especially Christians, but not just Christians. You know, you got guys in Israel, you know, not fearing this word, calling themselves elders even, you know, not fearing this word, hating the commandments, right? They're all going to be destroyed, man, period. You know, thus saith the scriptures, thus saith the Lord, all right? So I gathered up a few precepts. I'm not going to make this too long, but yeah, man, whoso, again, Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 13, whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. Now, I want to do this. I want to do this real quick. I kind of already went into the definition, or I briefly went into the definition of that word despise, right? Meaning to show contempt towards something or hate something or reject something, right? But this is just a quick Google definition, okay? So you can understand. All right. Despise, right? As a verb, right? It means to feel contempt or a deep repugnance for, right? And then it gives you, all right, a list of words called synonyms, all right, which are similar words to the word despise, right? And you see right here, detest, okay? A lot of our people detest, all right, this word, man. All right, a lot of our people hate this word, okay? A lot of our people loathe this word, all right? Show disdain for this word. Look down on this word, man. And that goes for the commandments, all right? So again, man, that's why 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed, man, in the lake of fire, which is America. America is the lake of fire, all right? Why? Because there ain't no underground hell, IUIC, all right? The lake of fire is going to be right here in Babylon the Great, man. And that's exactly where 2/3 of our people are going, right along with Esau, Edom, all right? Esau, the so-called white man, and the heathen nations that are too stupid to leave this place, man. All right? So let's get a couple precepts. All right, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, and verse 20. It says, for there be many that perish in this life. Right? There's going to be, again, 2/3 of our people here in Babylon the Great are going to perish, man. They're not going to make it. All right? They're not going to make it on this go-around. They're not going to be saved, man. They're not going to be delivered on this trip. It says because why? Because they despise the law of the Most High Yahweh that is set before them. See? They don't want to have anything to do with these laws, man. All right? They don't want to have anything to do with the laws of the Most High. They don't want to talk about his statutes. All right? They don't want to talk about his laws. You know? And then you got these fucking idiots out here talking about, you can't judge me. Well, as a matter of fact, you know, that's another lesson for another time, but we can judge you, man. It says the elect is going to judge angels. All right? Lord willing, we're part of that number. It starts with the elder apostle, great Millstone on down. You know, Yahushua himself said to judge righteously, man, to judge righteous judgment. So, yes, we can judge you, man. Now, we can't condemn anyone. We don't go out and, for example, we don't go out and stone, you know, Moes, right? We don't go out and stone sodomites, okay? We don't do that. But we can make judgments, okay, and tell you that's a wicked, perverted, sick, twisted, degenerated lifestyle. Yeah, we most certainly can't. Don't judge me. Only God can judge me. And how does he do that? All right, through the governing body of Israel, man, through his servants, the prophets, right? So again, 2 Ezra 7 and verse 20, for there be many that perish in this life because they despise the law of the Most High Yahweh that is set before them. And that's just it, man. The law has been set before you Israelites. All right? There's no more excuses, man. You can't... Long gone are the days where you could have claimed ignorance. You can't do that no more, man, because this truth is clearly out. It's been out. It's been out for many decades now. You know, this gospel of the kingdom of heaven has gone into the four corners of the earth, man, and that's why we're at the end, okay, because this truth has been spoken, man. It's been published. All right, let's go on to the next one. And this is the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiastes, chapter 19 and verse 19. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. So what leads to life, man? All right? The commandments. Keeping the commandments leads to life. Now, do we teach that observing the law is gonna save you? Absolutely not. All right? But you don't throw it out. You don't throw it out either. Okay? You know, it clearly says, where's that scripture? What is that? 2 Ezra 9? Give me just a second. So, I just had to make this point, right? Because we're not saved by keeping the law perfectly. We've already failed, okay? But that doesn't mean you just toss out the commandments, man, and just despise them and reject them and talk shit about them, right? 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 7, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed. So it's faith and works, man. They go hand in hand. Christians just totally throw away works, totally throw away the laws. All the law is done away with. I'm so sick and tired of hearing that, man. The law is not done away with. Yahushua himself said he didn't come to destroy the law of the prophets. He said he didn't come to destroy the law, but to do what? To fulfill. He walked perfectly in it. Because why? Because he had to, because we couldn't. We didn't. All right? So let's go back. Just wanted to make that point, man. So let's go back to 2 Ezra, or Salakia, Ecclesiastes 19 and 19. All right? Oh, this is 21st chapter. All right, Sirach, or Ecclesiastes chapter 19 and verse 19. And it reads, the knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. See? And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. See? So you do have to do something, Christian. You know? You do have to do something. You know? And that's just it. When you come into the truth, you want to start, you automatically, man, when we were called into this thing, we started doing what? We started doing things differently, man. New creatures do different things, right? If any man be in a Mashiach, Yahushua, he is a new creature, right? We started learning the commandments. We started learning how to keep the commandments. And I gotta keep stressing this. We keep them to the best of our ability. We can't perfectly observe for example, the Passover. Where are you going to find a lamb without spot or blemish? And again, Hamashiach fulfilled that. He's our Passover. All right? We can't do that. For example, we can't do that perfectly. We can't go to Jerusalem 3 times a year, which is what you're supposed to do according to the law, right? But again, we don't just throw them out the window, man. We don't trample on them. We don't reject them. We don't, despise them. We don't turn away from them. How are you going to receive immortality, man? All All right. It says, and they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. All right. So we have to do things that please the Lord. Okay. And ultimately it's all about the elect anyways. All right. The elect are going to be redeemed out of the four corners of this earth, man, when Yahushua comes back with the holy angels in them ships and the chariots. All right. So no, you're not allowed to despise this word. You're not allowed to despise the commandments of the Lord. You know? And if you truly are with Yahushua, if you truly are walking with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, you will not despise his word. You will not despise his commandments. All right? And you will, to the best of your ability, walk in them. All right? And you definitely will not speak against them. You know? All right, this is the book of Isaiah chapter 30, right? And getting right to the point. All right. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 12. Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel. Who's that? Who's the Kodash One of Israel? It's Yahweh. His name is Yahweh, not Yahuwah, not Jehovah, not Yahweh, not God. His name is Yahweh. He has a name, IUIC. His name is Yahweh. All right, meaning he is, he to be, he exists. That's the Holy One of Israel, man. Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel. All right, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon, right? Verse 13, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. And that's just it. A lot of you are going to be destroyed, man. Suddenly. All right, the scriptures talks about swift destruction, sudden destruction coming. All right, upon the 2/3, man. All right, during the time of Jacob's trouble, when this war gets hot over here, all right, in Babylon the Great. Because right now you people aren't experiencing war. All right, these other nations, man, these other countries, man, a lot of them are familiar with the horrors of war. You Americans are about to fucking find out, man. Y'all are about to find out. All right, and 2/3 of our people, you're ready to fall, man. And again, your breaking is going to come suddenly in an instant. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. You know, just something that I was meditating on. I wanted to bring it out through the Spirit, Lord willing. It was edifying. And with that, I want to say shalom.